Act 3, Scene 3 of Othello is one of the most pivotal scenes in the play, marking the beginning of Othello's descent into jealousy and rage. This lengthy and emotionally charged scene lays the foundation for the tragic events that follow. It showcases Iago's manipulative genius, Othello's vulnerability, and Desdemona's kindness, which tragically becomes the catalyst for misunderstanding. Scene setup. The scene begins in the gardens of the castle in Cyprus. Desdemona assures Cassio that she will continue to advocate for his reinstatement as Othello's lieutenant. She is sincere and persistent, showing her compassionate nature. Cassio, deeply regretful about losing his position, is grateful for her support and hopes her influence on Othello will restore his reputation. As Cassio exits, Othello and Iago enter the scene, noticing Cassio leaving hurriedly. Iago, ever the schemer, plants the first seeds of doubt by casually commenting, "I like not that." This vague remark is enough to make Othello suspicious. Othello asks Iago if there was something improper about Cassio's quick departure, but Iago pretends to dismiss it, further heightening Othello's curiosity. Desdemona's plea for Cassio. Desdemona approaches Othello and earnestly pleads Cassio's case, repeatedly asking him to forgive Cassio and reinstate him. Her persistence, while innocent, unintentionally plays into Iago's plan. She tells Othello, "When shall I see you make amends for Cassio?" and insists that he act quickly. Othello is initially patient and loving, promising to consider her request. However, Iago's earlier insinuations have already taken root. As Desdemona leaves, Othello begins to brood. He wonders why Cassio would sneak away, and Iago seizes the opportunity to manipulate him further. Iago's web of deceit. Iago starts his infamous manipulation subtly, pretending to be reluctant to speak ill of others while hinting at Cassio and Desdemona's supposed closeness. He uses vague statements like, "good name in man and woman, is the immediate jewel of their souls," to emphasize the importance of reputation and loyalty. When Othello presses him for answers, Iago pretends to hesitate, saying he doesn't want to arouse jealousy. This reverse psychology works perfectly. Othello, already feeling insecure as an outsider in Venetian society, begins to suspect something is amiss. Iago then suggests that Desdemona's loyalty might not be as steadfast as Othello believes. He slyly reminds Othello of how she deceived her father to marry him, implying that she might deceive Othello as well. Othello, though initially resistant, begins to question Desdemona's fidelity. The handkerchief incident. Meanwhile, Desdemona accidentally drops the handkerchief that Othello had given her as a token of love. Emilia, Iago's wife, picks it up and, knowing her husband had been asking for it, gives it to him. Iago plans to use the handkerchief as evidence of Desdemona's unfaithfulness. This seemingly small moment becomes one of the most crucial in the play. The handkerchief, symbolic of Othello's love and trust, will soon become the proof Iago needs to convince Othello of Desdemona's betrayal. Othello's transformation. Iago continues his psychological assault, warning Othello to watch how Desdemona and Cassio interact. He hints that Cassio may not be trustworthy and suggests that Desdemona's affection for Othello might fade because of his age, race, and lack of sophistication compared to younger Venetian men. Othello, now deeply troubled, begins to doubt his own worth. He confesses his insecurities, saying, "Haply, for I am black, she's gone." This self-doubt feeds into Iago's narrative, making Othello more susceptible to jealousy. By the end of their conversation, Othello is consumed by suspicion. He demands ocular proof of Desdemona's infidelity, and Iago, ever the manipulator, promises to provide it. He hints that he has already seen evidence, such as Cassio murmuring Desdemona's name in his sleep and wiping his face with the handkerchief. The scene's emotional peak. Othello's emotional state deteriorates rapidly. The trust and love he once had for Desdemona are replaced by anger and jealousy. He swears revenge, saying, "I'll tear her all to pieces." Iago, feigning loyalty, swears to help him, and the two men pledge their alliance. This moment solidifies Othello's fall into Iago's trap. The once noble general, who loved Desdemona deeply, now sees her as a betrayer. Iago's manipulation is complete, and he gains control over Othello's actions. Themes and implications. This scene explores themes of trust, jealousy, and manipulation. Othello's transformation from a loving husband to a jealous and vengeful man is a testament to the destructive power of doubt and insecurity. Iago's ability to exploit Othello's weaknesses underscores the theme of appearance versus reality. Desdemona's kindness and innocence tragically work against her, as her efforts to help Cassio are misinterpreted as signs of infidelity. The handkerchief, a symbol of love, becomes a weapon of deceit, highlighting how easily love can be corrupted. Conclusion. Act 3, Scene 3 is the turning point of Othello. It marks the moment when Iago's manipulations take full effect, and Othello's trust in Desdemona begins to crumble. The emotional intensity and psychological complexity of this scene make it one of Shakespeare's most masterful depictions of human frailty. As the seeds of jealousy and betrayal take root, the tragedy of Othello moves inexorably toward its devastating conclusion.